everybody. I'll tell you something, I can't think of many better things than waking up at 3:30 on a bloody Sunday morning and driving 300 miles down south for a car show. But that's what I've done. And do you know what? I even picked King Willie up on the way down. I know what you're thinking. King Willie? What about Blair? Blair's at a wedding, isn't he, of course, working away. So look at this. Now we're being interrupted by two of the most glamorous ladies on the planet. Will's not even looking at them. This is Candy here, Will. This is Candy. East Sussex beauties. Angels. How's about that? I'll probably keep that in as well. I remember what I was saying. So Blair's tied up today, which, you know, it's sad, but it meant I got to hang out with my friend King William again. I pulled him away from his job as a viz expert at Rimac, and we've come down here to do some filming. So why the journey of a Sunday? Well, my lovely friend, and you know what? He's got a lot more lovely cars than I have. He's got a much better YouTube channel than I have, and his videos are much better than mine, so you should probably go and subscribe and check his videos out. Richard over at Challenge the Road. Today is the Challenge the Road Supercar Show here at Buell Water down in East Sussex. So way out of the way for me. I'm a bit northern for all this, and people are looking at me every time I walk. But let's go and check out some of the epic cars that we've got here before I show you the star of the show. And then there's another reason why we're here as well. And I can't wait. Straight away. My God, I should have had my sunglasses on. Look at that Performante Spider just there. Good Lord. To be fair, I know there's a Lamborghini there, okay, but I really love these. And I'm wondering if Will's following me as I'm talking, or if he's just like making adjustments. Where's Blair? I'm only joking, Will. I love you dearly. But come on. E91, 92 M3. I can't remember. They're all an E90, but when it's the cabriolet, it's a 1 or a 2, and I've got absolutely no idea which one it is. But I just adored these. The first M3 with a V8, absolutely rapturous noise. Super performance as well, and do you know what? They've aged so nicely. It's an absolute modern classic in my eyes, and it's just so nice to see Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. They're a beautiful tyre, and you might see one turning up on my Mercedes. Will, just turn left. I love that. Look at that. Citroen Zara going up the hill climb, full-on rally spec, wide arches, nice fruity exhaust, and a massive wrap. I just think that's really, really cool. Let's take a walk, shall we, down the sea of Lamborghinis and Porsches and cyclists. They're a bit dirty, aren't they? My God, what a day they've had. Will, just mind your back and grab this. McLaren Senna in beautiful JPS livery. Is it a car for me? I don't know. I think they're a bit odd looking, but I mean, to see one in the flesh is just ridiculous, isn't it? Carbon fiber hub that everything else is bolted onto. They're a bit nuts. Very much designed function over form, I think. So, you know, it was never designed to be the prettiest thing. It looks outlandish and crazy. Will, just grab that as it drives off. I feel like Sylvester Stallone should get out of that and be like, what's this? Rat burger. Bueno. See you later. More Porsches. We've got GT3 RSs everywhere here today, as well as a smattering of standard GT3s, loads of Cayman GT4s as well. This is a really nice one in crayon. Non-club sport spec, steel brakes as well, as opposed to the carbon ceramics. You can tell that by the red calipers, as opposed to the yellows that you get on the carbon ceramic brake. Anyway, let's keep walking, King Willie. I'm so happy to see you today, Will. It's been too long, hasn't it, mate? Another 3RS. What's that, Miami blue? Will, give me a nod. That's Miami blue, isn't it? Will knows his 3RS colours. Obviously, the two of us, we've been very fortunate over the last year to spend a lot of time on track with a lot of 3RSs. And is there a car like it for the track? I don't think there is. If you've got £250,000 to buy one, and if you've got £2,500 for a set of tyres as well. This is on Cup 2s. A lot of the RSs that we know are on Cup 2Rs, which they're a little more slick, there's a lot more compound, and they don't last anywhere near as long. Anywho, let's see what's over here. There's a couple of absolute beauties. Ferrari 812, AMG GT. Now, If you want to talk about an absolute value Grand Tourer car, it's one of these, the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT. Not an R, I think it's an S actually, and this has been wrapped in a satin grey. It looks absolutely mega, but huge V8 turbo engine. And come on, if you want to dive to the Alps, if you want to go on a 3 or 4 day road trip, that is such a car to go in, and mega value as well. It looks 150 grand. You can pick them up for 80, something like that, with super low mileage, great spec. I just think they're really great. Thunderous noise as well. And that's what I like, because I'm a bit noisy and I love the sound of my voice. And a GT3, an Audi R8 V10 Plus. What to say about it? It's an absolute belter. Hi, Will. How are you? Are you okay? Is your back hurting? Oh, it is as well. He can't nod the camera like Blair does. Not that I'm being mean. I love Willie. No, hold on a minute. I love Willie.
I love Willie. I love Willie.
Check this out as well. This is a car you do not see. This is a car you do not see at all. Ford GT from the early 2000s. A car that came absolutely out of nowhere. Are you following Will, or are you staying where you are? I'll talk from here then. 5.4 litre V8 and oh, the R8 V10 Plus. Just started and then stopped again, but anyway, doesn't it look absolutely epic in Gulf Racing livery as well? A livery that is so perfect for the GT. Obviously, racing heritage with a GT40. If you haven't seen the film about it with Christian Bale and who was the other guy? Bourne. My name's Jason Bourne, playing Carol Shelby. Absolutely epic. You need to watch it. But anyway, Christian Bale basically plays this epic racing driver whose name I can't remember, I'm afraid, and it's the birth of the GT40. That's loud, isn't it, actually, V10? But anyway, let's cut there, I think. Oh no, we don't want to get in the way of this guy taking pictures. No, I'll do a lap around you. I've worn my Lamborghini Murcielago SV coat today, just for this. This is one of Richard's cars as well. So Richard from Challenge the Road, this is one of the Challenge cars. He's had this a lot of years actually. Massive 6.5 litre V12, 600 horsepower, single clutch as well. So I've driven the car and it's super edgy. You're trying to just sort of balance the throttle so it's not shooting off. And honestly, you just fill your pants. So it's not the easiest thing to drive, but boy, isn't it one of the most incredible things to look at? The impact of it is absolutely crazy. I'm sure, Will, you'll get some brawl of it later on, but we want to take in the letterbox exhaust, the incredible scissor doors, the colour, Aranciato something with the black, combines, the specification just looks absolutely epic. I want this car. I can't afford the car. I'm trying to get Richard to give me the car, and he keeps saying no. So leave a comment below and say, Richard, give Martin the mercy. Oh, Richard, have mercy on Martin and give him the Murcielago. So I can crash it straight away. But look at this, that I'm just walking away from almost. Ferrari F12 TDF. Christ alive, the impact of the car. And the two right next to each other. These are such special edition cars. I think to have them here on this day at the Challenge the Road show is something quite incredible. So my plan for the day is, I love the F12 TDF and I love this. So we've got a brace, see I can say brace, a brace of V12s here right next to each other. I think that makes a W24. I just want this one, so I'm pretty convinced if I stand here for long enough, Richard may just take pity on me. Like I'm, please sir, can I have some more? You know, like a little boy at Christmas looking through the window of the nice family with all their presents having their food. Maybe I could have this. But Will, come and have a look at this as well. This is just a detail that I really love. And it's why it's tricky to drive these cars year round. We see the glass engine cover just there and all the gaps straight into the engine bay for absolute cooling. This thing gets hot. when you're punching it. I know Richard does take this car out quite a lot, and he drives it pretty quickly, up to national speed limits, that is. Come and have a look over here, but don't get that in. Don't get that in. Whatever's behind me, don't get. Look over there at the Ferraris. That's better. I'm just hiding the special car. But we say specials, we've got some pistas over here as well, which are delicious. A few of the cars are leaving now this afternoon. There's one just here that I didn't get a chance to walk around, but I just think, as well as the AMG GT over in the corner there, this is something that is such a buy. Right now, the Gen 1 Audi R8, Will, get a look at that. Gen 1 Audi R8 4.2 V8. This one looks pretty sweet as well. I love Daytona Grey, and I adore it when we're teamed up with some carbon side blades as well. These also look like R8 LM alloy wheels as well. My fat ass, you see that? What a car. And you know, you can get those now with a price beginning with a 3, somewhere in the £30,000 mark. You can pick up a Gen 1 Audi R8, 4.2 V8, all that power, that incredible drivetrain. Some have magnetic ride, some don't. But from a driving point of view, you fire it up to the Lake District, point it up a country lane, that thing sticks. Great noise, great drive, super reliable, and all for less than 40 grand as well. What a buy the Gen 1 R8 is. Put your glasses on, guys, because there's a Rolls Royce just here. And there's a Ferrari. So I believe this Rolls Royce belongs to the managing director of Stabilo, the guys who make the lovely little highlighter pens. Check this out. Come on, mate. Come on. Look at this, right? This thing here, it's called a wheel, right? And what it does, because of the shape of it, because it's round, right? It means that when you drive, the car will move. If it was a different shape, think about this, right? If it was a square or a diamond, which I love diamonds. If it was a diamond, right, you'd sort of like move a bit and then it'd bloody stop. That's why these wheels are round. Come and have a look at this. Come here, Will, come here. Look at this, right? See this little badge here, right? It says here Rolls Royce. That's how you know what car it is. This is a Rolls Royce. This little light here illuminates so people know when you're trying to turn. It's unreal. I mean, adjust your eyes. I know I was walking around this just having a bit of a joke, but there's something about it for me that I really love. So many Rolls Royces will be silver, grey, chrome, something else, and I love a loud colour on a car. But as I was walking around it, the owner, Nathan, came running over. What are you doing? He wasn't really. He said, do you want me to open it up and I'll show you? But he told me the story about the car. You'd expect a colour like this to be called something wild and crazy, but it's just simply called lime green. The story behind it is one of one, some people might say, of course, and a Rolls-Royce designer, she was over in Australia, driving down the outback, and the windscreen was just being peppered with bugs. And when they came to a stop, a tree frog just landed on the windscreen and started lapping away at all the dead bugs. The tree frog was this colour, of course, and she was so inspired by that, and the colour just stayed with her all the way back to HQ down at Goodwood. And she said, listen, guys, I've got an idea, bear with me, might be a bit odd. But they went, yeah, let's test a new market, let's see what happens. So they sent a team back to Australia, gathered up 11 tree frogs of the same colour to get a colour match. What I kind of envisioned at that point was they sort of wrung them out and just to get the colour out of the frogs, but that's cruelty to animals. So obviously they didn't do that. But this was colour matched from 11 tree frogs that the designer had land on her windscreen in Australia. Isn't that just the coolest story behind a colour? Well, if you come and have a look as well, we can't see it in this light because there's a massive blanket of cloud, but this black top section here, it's full with diamond dust as well. So on a sunny day, that'll just glitter and it'll be lovely. Now, another thing, this car wasn't spec'd by Nathan. It was a Rolls-Royce idea, and they made it a one of one to celebrate some customizable items. This has got carbon fiber wheel rims as well. Something you might expect of the McLaren Senna, bits and bobs and cars like that we've seen throughout the day, but certainly not a Rolls Royce. But it's a belter. Goodwood Festival of Speed this year. This car was here on display in the VIP section with Rolls Royce. Nathan was walking through with his wife, and his wife saw it and said, "Oh, I quite like that." And you know, that was all the affirmation that he needed. She'd given him the green light without maybe realizing, should I say the lime green light? So he bought it. Substantial amount of money for a Rolls-Royce Ghost, but again, one of one. When he went back to Rolls-Royce at Goodwood to collect the car, he was presented with this multi-course meal, and all the food items were colour matched as well. So lime green, salmon, crazy stuff, but it looked absolutely superb. And you know what? I just feel like the car, bold and brash as it is, it's going to split opinions as much as this bonnet is split. I absolutely love it. And I'll meet you that side. Check this out. You open this right and the door opens. And look at that as well. Sill plaque, specially commissioned for Goodwood Festival of Speed 2022. How cool is that? Okay, now it's time for the star of the show. If you've been watching Richard's videos for a while over on Challenge the Road, you'll know that he likes buying obscure, super hypercars, but then he gets a bit bored with them and kind of wants to do something else. Let's go and have a look at what has been the car of the day. Richard's McLaren P1 has absolutely blown the party wide and sent everybody crazy. So many photographers here getting probably some epic shots of these. McLaren P1 was launched at the Paris Motor Show in 2012. Everybody went crazy for it, calling it the proper successor to the McLaren F1. Of course, that title actually went to the Speedtail. Spiritually, they called it the P1. Was the one that took the crown from the F1. However, limited to only 375 cars, the P1 was launched and sales book opened in October. By November, they were all sold and you were not gonna get another one, unless you paid overs, of course. Every McLaren P1 left the factory as a one of one anyway. The color palette was so huge, you could quite literally sit there with McLaren and pick the exact hue of color you wanted. The interior trim. So many details were fine-tuned, and that would never be replicated again. This car, when Richard collected it from VVS, was yellow, and a one of one yellow. Nobody else had that car, Richard did. And yet, he decided to change it. But how has he changed it? It's not a wrap. It's not been painted. Each one of these panels is McLaren Special Operations, MSO. You'll see when Will gets close into it, that each of these panels is carbon fiber as well. The purple that you see isn't a film, it's not paint, it's not in the weave, it's a tint. So carbon fiber tint panels, full MSO. This was not able to be spec'd at the factory, and to buy one of these kits, I suppose we call it, even though it's a full body, costs $300,000 US. I don't know what Richard's paid for it, but what he has done, he's made his one of one car, an even more one of one car. Such is the tiny number of MSO carbon kits. God only knows what the value of this car is now, but I'm sure Richard will do a full video with the car. It's just nuts. So at launch, it wasn't just the McLaren P1 that was taking hypercars to a whole new height. We also had the Porsche 918 Spider and the LAF, the Ferrari LaFerrari, the Ferrari, of course. One owner in 2015 had all three of these cars in his collection, which is crazy enough. But for the final test, took all three to Silverstone Motor Circuit and raced them. They each had a hot lap. What was the winner? It was this. They all went round within 0.2 of a second of each other. So it was tight, but ultimately the P1 won and Richard was happy. So we're getting towards the end of the day now at the Challenge the Road Supercar show down here at Buell Water. But I hinted at the beginning of the video there was another pretty special reason why I was here. Let's go and have a look. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Here it is. I've got my jacket on, now I've got the car. Will, just make it look like I'm getting in, will you? Because then we can pretend that it's mine. See you, pals. I could eat the tension with a knife and fork. We've got Dean Macy at the top, Richard, the sim legends, gunning for it!
That's that Rich!
A thousandth of a second. How many laps did you have, Dean, though, when you say 5 laps? 5 laps.
I'll have another 5, though.
Yeah. We'll be here till 9 o'clock, won't we? Yeah. Just you two till the death.
Another purple. Careful exit. Don't do me in front of the way.
Oh! Smashed it! God, everyone's crying. This is so intense. But now that Richard's toppled Dean Macy from the top spot, I know Dean's going to go back on and have another go, and they'll be battling all night. But let me show you why we're actually here. Come on. I ended up buying my own. So after being at Goodwood Revival, the jacket's off. Here we go. Toss it over my new one, Dean. That's cool. They're just so addictive, as you can see from the guys here. You set a time, you get a decent time, then you shave in seconds off it, then it's about the tenths, then it's about the hundreds and thousands, and you've got to go faster and harder. And being the magpie that I am, being the magpie that Emily hates, I ended up buying one. I don't know too much about it yet, because Richard hasn't run through all the specs with me, but you see it's a special edition Challenge the Road sim in partnership with Race Room UK. And yeah, I can't wait to get it back to the unit, get it set up, and lose whatever productivity I had left. I'm going to run through that in another video. So for now, thank you so much for watching. It's been an incredible day down here at Buell Water with Challenge the Road and all the guys. I'll see you next time. I love you dearly.